Today I want to talk about a very important case called Sanchez versus Smart Fabricators of Texas. Sanchez worked as a welder for Smart Fabricators aboard two of its clients' jack-up drilling rigs, one of which was located on the outer continental shelf and the other of which was located in inland waters adjacent to a pier. Sanchez worked for Smart Fabricators for a total of 67 days, and all but two were aboard jack-up rigs. However, over 70% of his employment was on board the jack-up drill rig that was located adjacent to an inland pier, only a step away from the shore, meaning he was only exposed to the perils of the sea for less than 30% of his employment. He was injured when he tripped on a pipe which was welded to the deck, and he attempted to claim seaman status, which would entitle him to sue his employer for negligence under the Jones Act. Like most seaman status disputes, this dispute focused on the requirement that Sanchez have a connection to a vessel or a fleet of vessels in navigation that is substantial in terms of both its duration and nature. Smart Fabricators challenged that Sanchez did not meet this requirement, specifically that Sanchez's duties did not take him to sea and expose him to the perils of the sea. The United States Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit struggled with the decision because Sanchez's connection to a fleet of vessels was substantial in duration, since all but 3 days of his work were aboard vessels. But the court questioned whether his connection to a fleet of vessels was substantial in nature, since he was not exposed to the perils of the sea. The Fifth Circuit held that the perils of the sea analysis was not the primary or sole test for satisfying the substantial in nature part of the connection test, and elaborated on several important factors. In the end, the Fifth Circuit found that Sanchez was not a seaman because his work was performed only a gangway away from the shore, such that it wasn't seagoing activity, and he was more like a longshoreman than a seaman. The important takeaway for seamen is that marine and energy defendants will use this case to challenge seaman status every chance they get. So it's important to hire an attorney experienced in this area of the law, because whether or not you qualify as a seaman has a huge impact on the rights and remedies to which you are entitled. Thank you, and if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below the video, and I'd be happy to answer them.